All sprang to their unvarying daily acts. All sprang to their unveiling daily acts. The 1,000 peoples of the soil and tree obeyed the unforeseen instant's urge, and leader here with his uncertain mind, alone who stares at the future's covered field, man lifted up the burden of his fate. That is what now in the cycles of life is going to happen. Man has lifted the burden of his fate. We are seeing the bodybuilder carrying the whole load on his shoulders, you see. All sprang to their unvarying daily act. Unvarying daily act. Get up in the morning, do your routine things, go to the field, go to the factory, go to the office, whatever it is. Carry on your work constantly. 1,000 peoples of the soil and tree. 1,000 peoples of the soil and tree. You see, he is very particular about this description. Peoples of the soil and tree. Tree, birds, animals, the vital life, insects, all kind of creatures. 1,000 peoples of birds. Now, of course, he didn't get space enough to say here 1,000 peoples of the soil and tree and water, but it is assumed. Tree and water, you see. The 1,000 people to the soil and tree obeyed. Then, see, this is what happens. The animal life goes on routinely. The bird life goes on routinely. The ants carry on their daily work routinely manner. Obeyed the unforeseen instance urge and leader here. And of these peoples, man is the leader. Means it is a transition from the vital man to the mental man. That is what is going to happen here. In fact, it's a very important statement here. Burden of his fate. Soil and tree. Animals and birds. That is what it represents. You see the beauty. Soil and tree. Both of them are singular. It doesn't say soils and trees. The poetry, you see, is richer. It is characteristic of these things, you see. It is not trees, all kinds of birds and all. It is prescribed in a different manner. Now, this phrase, soil and tree, occurs at 101.8, the destined meeting place, where Savitri and Satyavan are going to meet in the Shalva woods. And the description is about that place. And what we are here? Peacock and parrot dwelled, soil and tree. Exactly the same phrase. Soil and tree. Peacock and parrot dwelled, soil and tree. In fact, let us read those two sentences, earlier one also. A sigh was straying among happy leaves, cool perfumed with slow, pleasure-burdened feet. Faint stumbling breeze fainted among flowers. The white crane stood, a vivid motionless tree. Peacock and parrot dwelled, soil and tree. The dove's soft moan enriched the enamored air, and far-winged wild drakes swam in silvery pools. These are the peoples of the place, you see. It is in this stage, under this condition, we have got Savitri. Earth crouched alone with her great lower heaven uncovered to her consort purple eye. And then further on, a cry and leap and hurry were around. A cry and leap and hurry, again singular, were around. The stealthy footfalls of a chasing thing, the shaggy emerald of a centaur maid, the gold and sapphire of her warmth and blaze. And then about man and the icon of Shiva in the mountains there, you see. So this is the place where Savitri is going to be. The preface is perfect here. And you have got a parallel description here in this meeting place in this canto of this one, you see, soil and tree. The 1,000 people of the soil, exactly the same phrase he has used there, you see. Obeyed the unforeseen instance earth. And leader here. Now among these people, among these animals, among these birds, who is the leader? Man is the leader here. And he is lifting up. These people, 1,000 people, they cannot really bear the burden of the future at all. They are not capable at all, you see. It's the transition. So in other words, the avatarhood of Savitri, the arrival of Savitri, is directly in the context of the arrival of man on the evolutionary scene. And it starts with that, you see. And leader here with uncertain mind, alone who stares at the future's covered fame, man lifted up the burden of his fate. We'll see the next sentence also because they are linked up. Because there is that and. It means that we can't disconnect this line from the previous description. And Savitri too awoke among these tribes. For our purpose, to link up with the previous, this line is enough. That hasten to join the brilliant summer's chant, that is another story now. But to link up with the previous one, this line is enough. And Savitri too awoke among these tribes. See, if Savitri has to come, if she has to take mortal birth, naturally the divine goddess, the omniscient goddess has to go back. Because only by entering into mortality, that mortality can be changed. Not from above, but from within, the transformative action has to occur, has to take place, you see. And Savitri too awoke. Now here, you got the tribes. Among these tribes, the 1,000 peoples of the soil and tree, among these tribes, Savitri too awoke. So this is a very clear-cut indication that the actual visible action of Savitri is taking place with the arrival of man on the evolutionary scene. She has been there right from the beginning of the earth, since the beginning of the earth. Whenever and wherever Mother has said that thing, I was present there. She has been there. But she is awaking. The word awake is important. She is not born. She is awake to the reality of her work, of her mission. Awake is more important. Now, it is in this context, among these tribes and these 1,000 peoples of the soil and tree, we must see, well, as I told you earlier, this avatarhood of Rama occurs in this transition from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga. That is the transition corresponding to the avatarhood of Rama. Now, the mother has a very beautiful description of Rama as a child. Kausalya's son. Rama's mother was Kausalya. Kausalya's son, Rama. She said that once she saw him, her child, the baby, his hair shining like thousands of stars. Thousands of stars. The mountains and rivers flowing through him. The entire universe is present in him. She saw that vision in him, Kausalya, his mother, the divine vision, the supreme vision herself. And that is the most important. Mother herself has described that in great detail, how Kausalya saw the avatarhood Rama with thousands of suns and stars in his body present there. And the rivers and mountains and animals all moving in him throughout the entire universe. He was present there. Now it is this transition, at this transition, that Savitri is arriving on this scene. The avatarhood of Rama is, in that sense, is very important. I mean, people don't know, they keep on quarreling, fighting and all kind of things are happening, Ram Mandir, but there is a reality behind the whole thing. It is prehistoric in a certain sense. You don't have written records of that thing. But the tradition is not wrong also. Tradition has a certain merit. And not only tradition, people who have occult perceptions, yogis who have occult perceptions, they will feel the presence of that avatarhood even now at that place. So it is not for nothing there. They will feel his presence there even now. Those who have that occult perception, you see. You go to great yogis places, his samadhi is there, and you feel a different kind of a vibration immediately there, that there is something different here. In the same manner, the presence of the avatar can be perceived, felt by them who have the occult senses awakened in them, you see. People don't understand, but we are living in a rational age and therefore create all kind of problems and troubles, you see. It's a different matter, yeah.
Sri Aurobindo said Jesus Christ was also an avatar.
Also, yes.
He doesn't figure there.
Huh?
He doesn't figure.
No, it doesn't figure in this one. Now, this is the traditional Indian avatar story of avatars. This was sort of given long before the arrival of Christ. Long before Kali Yuga is here, you see. Long before the arrival of Christ. But Sri Aurobindo says very distinctly, very clearly, he talks of Krishna, Christ and Buddha. In the essays on the Gita, he talks of these three avatars, Krishna, Christ and Buddha.
So there should be actually next three avatars.
Yeah.
And because they say it will happen, now it has happened.
Yeah.
Kalki has happened.
This list was prepared, was given, pursued, by experience by the yogis much before the birth of Christ. And I think there is a little difference also, in the sense that in a way the avatarhood of Christ is of a secondary nature, not of a primary nature. See, Rama, Krishna, Sri Aurobindo, in a way, they are direct emanations from the Supreme. Full emanation, full powers and capacities, you see, in the life. Christ's avatarhood, in that sense, is sort of limited avatarhood, not full avatarhood, you see. That is why, what was his purpose? To humanize Europe. To humanize Europe. That was the mission of Christ, his avatarhood, to humanize Europe. That is done. But this is something much more than that. It is an evolutionary step to bring down the mental being, to bring down the overhead, or the overmind, to bring down the supermind. These are of a different kind of thing, you see. Yeah.
What about the duration of the yuga? What about the duration of the yuga? Is it?
Yeah, well, that is what they have given. We don't know how they have calculated and all that thing, but this is what. See, here Kali Yuga has a span of so many years. Twice of that is Dwapara. Twice of Kali Yuga is Treta. 4 times of Kali Yuga is Treta or Satya Yuga.
But that means you have Kali Yuga and then Satya Yuga, and then again Kali Yuga,
yes,
yes, again Kali Yuga.
Yeah. This is in a certain kalpa. See, in a certain kalpa, these are the divisions of the yugas.
But this is basically a whole cycle. This is 3 cycles.
Yes. Actually, we will be seeing that thing shortly, what Sri Aurobindo has put in the report. So, in Kali Yuga, sorry, in Krita or Satya Yuga, you got 4 avatars. And the duration of is 4 times Kali Yuga. In Treta, you have got 3 avatars. The duration of Treta is 3 times Kali Yuga. Dwapara, 2 avatars.